Madrid. Red clay, blazing sun. A match that looked routine. But what happened that day was anything but normal. Because in just a few hours, the tennis world stopped asking, "Who is Alexandra Eala?" and started asking, "Who can stop her?" on tee. Paper. This match was simple. A rising player versus a proven veteran. On one side, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, a Grand Slam finalist, a player built for clay, experienced, dangerous. On the other, Alexandra Eala, a name still labeled as promising, up and coming, one for the future. But here's the problem with that label. Eala wasn't the future anymore. She was ready. For years, the global tennis stage followed a pattern. The same countries, the same systems, the same stars. And outside that circle, millions of fans watched from a distance. In places like the Philippines, tennis wasn't a spotlight sport. It was hope. A quiet belief that maybe, one day, someone would break through. That day arrived in Madrid. This moment didn't start here. It started years earlier, at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, where talent alone means nothing, where players are rebuilt, physically, mentally, completely. For Eala, it meant sacrifice, leaving home, leaving family, living in pressure, training every day, not just to improve, but to survive the level. And slowly, that process changed her. The junior champion disappeared, and in her place, a competitor was built. By 2026, the signs were already there. Top 50 in the world, a quarterfinal run in Dubai, and most importantly, a statement win over Coco Gauff. That's not luck. That's progression. That's a player rising on purpose. But one question remained. Clay, the hardest surface to master. Long rallies, slow pace, relentless physical demand, and across the net, a player who understood it perfectly. Pavlyuchenkova wasn't just experienced, she was built for this surface, which made this matchup dangerous. From the first few points, it looked predictable. Pavlyuchenkova came out aggressive, powerful ground strokes, deep shots, trying to control early. For a moment, it worked. But then, something shifted. Eala didn't rush. She didn't panic. She adjusted. Instead of matching power, she changed the game. Her left-handed forehand became the key, not just for winners, but for control. She targeted one area, again and again. The backhand. High bounce, heavy spin, uncomfortable height, simple strategy, perfect execution, and slowly, control began to shift. Then came the difference maker, movement. On clay, movement is everything. Pavlyuchenkova stayed near the baseline. Eala covered the entire court. Sliding, recovering, chasing every ball, one extra shot, then another, and that's where matches break. Not with power, but with pressure. Every rally got longer, every point got harder, and slowly, the errors began. Not big mistakes, small ones, but consistent, because constant pressure does one thing. It forces mistakes. Then came the moment that defines players. Breakpoint. This is where young players usually hesitate, where doubt appears, where control slips, but not here. Eala stepped up, calm, focused. She served wide, pulled her opponent off the court, and finished the point clean. No hesitation, no fear, just execution. At that moment, everything changed. This wasn't a player hoping to win. This was a player expecting to win, and that difference is everything. By the end of the opening phase, the match had already shifted, not just in score, but in control. And now the question wasn't, can she win? The question was, by now, the match had changed. Not just on the scoreboard, but in control. Because control had only one owner now, Alexandra Eala. In tennis, breakdowns don't happen instantly. They build. A step too late, a shot mistimed, a decision rushed, and then suddenly, everything starts to fall apart. That's exactly what was happening. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova was no longer dictating, she was reacting. No longer constructing points, just trying to stay in them. And then came the shot that changed everything. The drop shot, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. each one perfectly disguised, each one delivered at the right moment. And every time, Pavlyuchenkova was too far back, too slow, too late. On clay, moving forward from deep positions is exhausting, and Eala knew it. This wasn't just smart play, this was control. Now every rally came with doubt. What's next? A deep forehand? A sharp angle? Another drop shot? And when a player starts guessing, they lose clarity. And without clarity, mistakes follow. You didn't need the scoreboard, you could see it. Pavlyuchenkova, slowing down between points, leaning on her racket, taking extra time. Eala, quick reset, focused, ready. One player was fading, the other was rising. This was supposed to be about experience, a veteran against a rising player. But now, it looked reversed. Eala was calm, composed, in control. Pavlyuchenkova, forcing. Shots. Rushing decisions, breaking rhythm, because experience only matters if you can hold your composure, and then the errors came. Forehands long, backhands into the net. Forced winners that weren't there. Not random mistakes, pressure mistakes. Created, not given. By now the pattern was clear. Eala dictated every rally. Push to the backhand, control the depth, extend. The exchange. Wait, then finish. Simple, precise, effective. Inside the stadium, the energy changed. At first, curiosity, then realization, and finally, belief. Because the crowd understood something important. This wasn't an upset. This was domination. Every experienced player makes one last push, and Pavlyuchenkova tried. A strong return, an aggressive rally, an attempt to take control back. But Eala didn't step back. She stepped in, took the ball early, changed direction, finished the point, and just like that, the resistance ended. Now only one challenge remained, closing the match. The most difficult moment, because this is where nerves appear, where players hesitate, but Eala didn't change. Same rhythm, same plan. No brushing, no overplaying, just control. By now, the outcome was clear, but this was no longer just about winning. This had become something bigger, something beyond the scoreboard, something that would be remembered. Because this wasn't just a victory, this was a statement. There's a moment right before something becomes real, where everything slows down, the crowd quiets, the movement sharpens, and every point feels heavier. Inside the stadium, that moment had arrived. Because now, everyone knew. This match was over, but the moment was just beginning. The scoreboard told one story, but the court told another. Control was gone from one side, and completely owned by the other. Alexandra Eala wasn't chasing anymore. She was finishing. Across the net, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova stood still for a second longer than usual. A player who had been on the biggest stages, now searching for one last answer. But there were no answers left. Champions always try one last time, one last push, one last rally. Pavlyuchenkova stepped in, played aggressively, tried to take control back. For a brief moment, it looked possible, but Eala didn't hesitate. She stepped forward, matched the pace, redirected the ball, and ended the exchange. Just like that, the door closed again. And then, it came. Match point. The moment every player imagines. Everything slows. The crowd holds its breath. Eala stands at the baseline. No panic, no rush, just focus. She serves. The rally begins. 1 shot, 2, 3. Controlled. Measured. Pavlyuchenkova tries to extend it, tries to find space, tries to stay alive, but there is no space left because Eala has taken all of it. And then, the final shot. Clean, deep, unstoppable. The ball lands, and it's over. For a second, nothing happens. No immediate celebration, just stillness, because even she needs a moment to process it. Then slowly, the realization hits. She didn't just win, she dominated. No dramatic collapse, no wild scream, just a composed release. Because this wasn't unexpected. This was earned. Every hour, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt led here. They meet at the net. A simple handshake, but it carries meaning because players understand. They know when they've been beaten, and they know when someone has arrived. Then comes the sound. Applause, not just for a win, but for what it meant, because the crowd had seen it. This wasn't luck. This was a complete performance. The stats will tell part of the story. A straight sets win, a victory over a Grand Slam finalist. But numbers don't show impact. They don't show composure. They don't show belief. And they don't show what this moment means beyond the court. Far from Madrid, people were watching, different places, different screens, but the same feeling. Pride. Because for years, they watched others, hoping one day they would see their own, and now they were. This wasn't just about a win, it was about representation. Seeing someone from your country on a global stage, not just competing, but dominating. That changes something, not just in rankings, but in belief and in tennis. Moments like this matter. Ranking points, better draws, bigger opportunities. A step closer to the top 30. A different, a different path. This wasn't just progress, this was elevation. Message to the world for the tennis world. This was a warning, because the most dangerous players aren't always the loudest. They're the ones who arrive, with performance, with control, with belief. And suddenly, everyone has to pay attention. Madrid was just the start. Bigger stages are coming, bigger matches, bigger pressure. And one stage. Above all, Paris, Roland Garros. And now the question has changed. Not, can she compete? But, how far can she go? Some moments are just wins, others are turning points. This was a turning point, because Alexandra Eala didn't just win a match, she changed the conversation, from potential to reality, from future to present. On the red clay of Madrid, under the Spanish sun, a young player didn't just defeat her opponent, she introduced herself to the world, and this time, the world listened.